that I can give her. I just wish she could hear me on the level that you do. Do you understand it? But you feel her, and I feel like you know what she's trying to say to you. Does that make sense to you? Fantastic. Good. Because she keeps saying to me, if she listens, she'll know the way that I'm trying to not only give her the guidance, but give her the answers to the questions that she's asked. You've been asking her questions for quite a while. She's saying to me, she's been asking me questions for a long time. Do you understand it? Okay. You're asking her to always give you signs that she's around. Good. And you've been getting them. And she said to me, at first in the beginning, it was just how much she missed me and that she loved me and that she just wanted to know that I was at peace and I was supposed to send her a sign. Then we got into other personal things that were going on in her life, but she still continues to always say, just give me a sign so I know what to do. Do you understand it? Good. So it's just her way of validating to me about what the conversation is like with you. She's, this is what I'm going to say to you. Not only is she a really significant guardian for you, but because she's such a strong mother energy, not only here as far as her presence in your life when she was here, but because she's making herself very well known to you already. I feel like she's kind of clearing the path for you a little bit. Do you know what I mean by that? And anything that you're going through in your life and any kind of support and guidance that she's giving you from the other side, she makes me feel like she's kind of clearing the path and she's trying to guide the way for you, which is wonderful. I've never had anyone actually show it to me in that way, but that's perfectly just fine. It's just the way that she has to make me feel it. Tell her I needed to talk about the ring first because that was the number one thing she wanted me to give. Do you understand? So that's why I got that from the very beginning. Great, fantastic. Her grandmother and everybody else were just as excited as I was, and I wanted them to have a chance to talk before I took the stage. It just means before she kind of took over. She's wearing my energy out. She's making me feel really, really lethargic. Do you understand what she's saying to me? The sickness took over? What she keeps saying to me is, the sickness took over and it was too late and I didn't have a goodbye with my mom the way that she didn't have a goodbye with me. What is that? Do you know anything about your grandmother's passing? Okay, because she keeps saying to me the sickness took over with the grandmother, that she didn't have a goodbye with her the way that you feel you didn't get a full goodbye with her. And she's saying to me, I've been in her shoes, I know what it's like. I never really felt like I had a full goodbye with my mom, and now I see what it's like for her, and I had to make sure I have a chance to say everything that I wanted to say to her before I ended up actually leaving her because I didn't have the goodbye with her. And I know what it was like for me when my mom passed. Do you understand that? What is that? I'm trying to understand what she's saying to me. Because it doesn't have to be her biological mom. It could be grandmother, mother-in-law. She just makes me feel like she's looking at this other woman not having a chance to say goodbye. It's got to be a grandmother then. Because all she keeps doing is she keeps making me look at this woman laying in a hospital bed. And she keeps talking about how sick she is and that she never had a chance to say goodbye to her. It's got to be her grandmother then. And that might be why when your grandmother first stepped in, she kept saying to me she was there to meet me. Okay, now it makes sense. Perfect. Okay, now I get it. Perfect. Because when your grandmother stepped in, she kept saying she was there to meet me because she was talking about your mom. All of a sudden, I see this older woman. She's been gone a really, really, really long time. And I keep hearing it was hard for me to watch her. It was hard for me to say goodbye to her. I didn't have a chance to say goodbye to her, and I know what it's like for my daughter because I went through that before too. That's all I keep getting. Okay, so it's probably her trying to validate the grandmother. My guide said yes, that's what she's doing. That still comes through as a mother energy to me because mother, grandmother, great-grandmother is all maternal energy. But my guide said that's why before your grandmother kept saying she was there to meet me because she was trying to validate. Okay. Now I understand why she was saying before she's been gone for quite some time as well. Perfect, good. Yep, alright, I'm feeling your grandmother again. That's what's going on. Alright, I'm asking her what she wants to say. My guide said her grandmother's starting to step in. You were starting to feel what she went through with her grandmother, who was the mom preceding her. She had already validated she was there before her. The older generations are starting to leave, and you're feeling the older generations just behind, and they're trying to validate who greeted who. Okay, perfect. That's all it is. It's just because they're starting to pull their energy out. Her mom is stepping in just behind her, and she's going to actually step out before your mom, and they were trying to give me who greeted who. That's all it is. Okay, good. Sometimes I can have 3 or 4 people talking to me all at once, and I'm like, wait, slow down, and then I understand it. All right, I'm going to ask your mom what else she wants to say, because she's stepping back in. And it's only going to be her this time. They're all waving. I can feel them waving. They're way validating that they're all together and they're at peace. All right, they're pulling their energy out. And when my daughter doesn't know that I've seen some of the things that she's gone through in her life, I had to make you feel that I sit with her in the car. And I had to say to you before, she's been asking me for a lot of long years about advice because she was trying to make me feel how long she's been gone. Do you understand it? Okay, fantastic, good. I know she didn't have the years with me that she wanted. I know she feels like I was taken from her at a young age. Do you understand why she keeps apologizing for leaving you? Because she keeps saying to me, I never had a chance to be the mother that I wanted to be because she wasn't very old when I passed. I didn't get all the years that I would have liked to have had to talk to her about what it's like to be a woman. Do you understand that? Okay. That's why I kept getting, she was making me feel her watching the mother energy because she watched the grandmother pass, which was her grandmother. Then she passed, and then your grandmother passed because when your grandmother stepped in, she kept saying she was there to meet me, and she was making me feel the mother energy because it's your mom. Do you understand? Good. So it's her way of trying to make me backtrack to where you didn't really have very many years with her as much as you would have wanted. It's her way of making me feel that you weren't very old when she passed. Do you understand it? Good, fantastic. So that's why she kept saying the longevity as far as the car. I've always been a protective force in her life. I've done my best to try to protect her as much as I can. I need her to know how much I love her. There was things I wasn't able to say to her before I left. I'm glad that she holds my ring so dear to her heart. And then I feel like I'm flipping through all these pages of picture books. Are those one of the very few things that you have of her as well as the pictures? Okay, good. You just recently looked at those too?
We did.
Okay. Because she said to me, she just looked at them and I was sitting beside her when she did. Okay, perfect, good. Because before she was making me feel like I'm slipping the ring on and off, and it's because you just did that today. So it's her way of making me feel there's only just a few things you have of hers, and the way that she's been with you recently as far as what you've done with anything that you have, as far as not only things that are passed down, but memories in general. Okay. She keeps saying to me, even though the older generations left, there's a lady standing just behind her named Virginia. It's very clear to me. Do you not know all your genealogy? Okay, that's it. Because the grandparents already pulled their energy out, but there's still one older generation standing behind her, and it's very clear it's Virginia, and I keep getting she's 5 generations back. Tell my daughter I love her. I'm glad I had a chance to talk to her. There were so many other people trying to talk to their loved ones today. It was really hard for me. I didn't think I would have a chance because they were saying to me my energy wasn't very high. That's why I had to take my time with her. That's why I struggled a little bit with what she was trying to say to me. My guide's saying to me that when she stepped in, her energy level was only at about 45. I always want them to step in when they have at least an energy level of 80. She needs to know what a wonderful woman she is. I want her to know how proud I am of her. I want her to know that even though we didn't have the years that she would have wished and I would have wanted to have with her, I need her to know that I've seen everything that's happened in her life. Wonderful. Were you hoping she would validate that she's kind of seen you through everything? She's saying to me, I had to make sure I said that to her before I left because she needed to know that I have still seen everything that's happened in her life, and I've tried to give her as much support as I possibly could. Do you understand it? Wonderful. She's talked to me in good times, and then she's talked to me in times where she's really, really needed me. And anytime she ever talks to me, whether it's something that has joy or whether it's something that she's having a hard time with, or it's something that she's struggled with, I want her to know that I've been there and I've heard her. Tell my daughter I love her. I wanted her to know that I was at peace and that I was with her. She just keeps saying, tell her thank you for the ring. So she must be really happy that you brought it, which is fantastic. But she still makes me feel like you're still going to try to keep it sacred. But if you choose to do something with it, you choose to do something with it, honey. It doesn't mean that you don't have to or you do have to. Do you understand? It just means she supports whatever decision you make, but she makes me feel like she understands why you haven't, because you don't want anything to happen to it. So that's why she was saying before it's about the loss, because she didn't want you to lose it, and that's what's been on your mind. All right, she's pulling her energy out. See if I can get anything else from her. Yep, this lady Virginia is walking right in front of her. 5 generations back, something about the dad's side of the family. You haven't traced the genealogy, but if you do, I want you to remember that, okay? Because she keeps saying to me, dad's side 5 generations back, so I know that's where you'll find her. All right, there goes Virginia. All right, she's starting to step out. She's so sweet and so loving. She just makes me feel that not only did she go right away when she crossed over, but she got very well adjusted as soon as she was there. I feel like she felt she had to because she wanted to watch over the 3 of you. So even though the main message was to you, she kept saying there's 3 total because there's 2 other children. So anybody else in the family that had this connection, not only the children that are still here, but anyone else that she's connected to, you just need to let them know that she sends love and that she's watching over the family and that she's very much at peace. Okay? All right, she's pulling her energy out. Yeah, she ended up being my last one. It's always hard when I get down to the last person, and this is the way I'm going to explain it to you. Okay, my husband's sitting up front, and him and I can have a full-blown conversation. When I get down to the last person and they step in and their energy's only like at 40%, most of the time they'll just shut me down and they won't have that person step in, because it can be hard for me to try to understand what they're saying sometimes because their energy is so low. So it's kind of like somebody standing 5 blocks away and trying to have a conversation with me. So that's my best explanation for you as far as when I get down to the last person, the energy is so low as far as them being connected from the other side. Sometimes I have to listen to what they say once or twice to understand what they're giving me, but they're actually starting to shut me down. I'll see if I could get anything else from, they're saying to me,